Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
That is blasphemous. 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 That is blasphemous.
What's up, guys? AW here in order. Latest SmackDown with wrestling and sports. What's up? Thursday, this October what? 25th or 26th? I think it's the 26th. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. The 26th of October. There's day 3 of the NBA season. Already the media, the sports media are making up. Already talking about certain teams. Already. Oh, this team doesn't look good. This team's not going to do well. Whatever. Based off one game of the season. Specifically, though, mostly ESPN, specifically Stephen A. Smith, specifically, First Take and NBA Today, specifically all that. Already based off one game. We're already, the media, the sports media is already making out like teams are in panic mode already, right? Which is not the case. Not the case. Before we get into that, before we get into the sports stuff, make sure if you're new here, subscribe, please. And please, if you're into sports, subscribe. If you're not into sports and you're into wrestling, please subscribe. And if you're not into sports and you're into wrestling, please subscribe. I'm sorry if I'm taking my time here. There's stuff I just have to do. Okay? So do that. If you're into wrestling, please subscribe. If you're into sports wrestling, and if you're into either one and not the other, subscribe. Make sure you like this. Bash the like button down below, please. And share us on all social media platforms, Threads, Twitter, X, I guess it's called now, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you use as your social media platform. Please. I really would appreciate that. And so we're going to talk basketball today. The NBA. Okay? The NBA. And the media with the NBA. Okay? Specifically the media and NBA. Now, I'm going to put this in my chat. Okay? No, I'm going to put this in my chat. Excuse me. This is StreamYard link. And I'm going to pin it. I'll let you all know that you could come in. Okay? Okay. Let's get on to this. This is a thing that this is typical, right, of the sports media these days. It's more about entertainment, right? Right? So, already, you got certain sports entertainers, sports, whatever you want to call them, like guys like Stephen A. Smith, pumping up, not pumping up, but already blasting the Lakers, specifically Anthony Davis, after the first game of the season. Okay, yes, I know they played against the defending Denver Nuggets, the champions. Okay, yeah, yes. Denver is the one that eliminated the Lakers from the Western Conference Championship, and you know what happened there from there. They won the title. But this is a narrative that based on opening night, and I know Stephen A. Smith has made this point about Anthony Davis before in the past. Anthony Davis shows up one night, and the other night he doesn't show up. And he's clearly done that in the first game of the season, right? Right? He's clearly done in the first game of the season. All right? He had a monster first half. And in the second half, he did not show up. In fact, in the second half, he scored 0 points. In the first half, dominant. And this is true about Anthony Davis. He does dominate. He could dominate the game with his skills because he does have tremendous. His skills really unmatched, right? Okay. But I know his point saying is Anthony Davis shows up and doesn't show up, right? He shows up one night, looks like the best player on the floor. The other night, he looks like an average Joe, an average player at best. Okay, that's true. In the past, it's true. But based off, I guess, one game. It's only one game. It's the first game of the season, There's new players on the team that have to get acclimated with the Lakers. Now, this is not me defending the Lakers. This is me explaining how the sports media is all creating this negative narrative about teams. Teams are expected to compete, looking bad on the first game of the season, right? After first game, and like it's gonna be a telltale sign of the season's gonna be, which is obviously not true. You cannot base how a season's gonna go based on one game of an 82-game season, whether it's hockey or basketball. Football, they do it all the time. And football, the NFL, after week one, oh, this team is the best in the league. This team is the best in the league. That team loses in week 2, oh, they're the worst in the league. Every week is football. Oh, this team is worse than I thought. San Francisco, 3 weeks ago, best in the league. Loses 2 games in a row. The Minnesota and Cleveland. Okay, not the best in the league anymore, right? Not the best in the league. Buffalo, oh, they destroyed Miami. Oh, they're top 3 in the league when they destroyed Miami, right? They lost 2 in a row to Jacksonville, and New England, oh, they're not even top 5 anymore. Not top 5 anymore. Not that good. I mean, they're you know what? They're crumbling. Detroit Lions, oh, 5-1, best of the league because the other top teams in the division when San Francisco and Philadelphia both lost the first game last week, not this Sunday, the week before. Detroit's a top team in the NFC because they're tied with those 3 teams, 5-1. Oh yeah, Detroit's the best team in the league. Detroit loses, gets destroyed by Baltimore. Go 5-2. Now they're not the best anymore. I should rephrase it: best in the NFC. Okay, you see my point here. It's only week 7. And the teams play 17 games, right? So we're not even at the halfway point of the NFL season. Actually, we're kind of getting there, right? End of October, early November is the halfway point of the season, right? 18 scheduled season, but 17 games. So week 8 is technically 8.5. It's technically half of 17. But since you can't do half games, you only can do full games. 9 would be the halfway point, technically, in the NFL season. And we'll see. Maybe we're not even halfway there, right? To me, with football, we'll get serious. I get serious when I would say about week 11, week 10 and week 11. Okay, that's when I get serious. Okay, we determine who is really the top teams in the league, because every week these sports pundits change their mind based on one loss. San Francisco Philadelphia loses one game this season 2 weeks ago. That makes Detroit the best team. San Francisco loses the second game. Detroit loses the second game. Now Philadelphia goes 6-1. Philadelphia's not the best team. Makes sense, right? I mean, it changes week to week who's the best team in the NFL. Basketball, oh my God. Right now, especially after one game with the Lakers, oh, they look terrible. They look bad against Denver. Anthony Davis said, show up, man, it's one game. And look, last year, Lakers were terrible in the first 10 to 15% of the season. They were 2-9, 2-10 at one point early on in the season, and they went on to make the playoffs. And went up to the Western Conference, right? Okay. So we have to make a narrative about that. Right? They have to make a narrative, right? Okay. It's just after one game. Okay, now the Lakers play tonight, and they're gonna play Phoenix. Now Durant and Booker are out, right? Durant and Booker might not play tonight. Durant's gonna play. Booker and Beal might not play. And I guarantee you, if the Lakers lose to a team that has this Durant on it, what's gonna happen? Oh, they're gonna say, oh yeah, they lost. The Lakers are not as good as we thought they were. They lost to an injured Riddle Phoenix Suns, or two of the big three are out. You know, it's the narrative. And I'm gonna roll my eyes at that and be like, it's the first 2 games of the season. Relax. And this man says,
that is blasphemous. That is.
Yes, I know Anthony Davis is the second starting team. LeBron's there, and they make sure in LeBron's minutes. But there's other players on the Lakers that have to step up to, not just Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a difference maker. We got D'Angelo Russell, who can score, right? D'Angelo Russell can score. Austin Reeves, will he take another level? Okay. Will he take another level? Will he go to another level? I should rephrase that. Okay. And it's near. Look at the Chicago Bulls. What the hell is Chicago? This isn't my point. This is not really sports media, but this is reporting in sports media. Chicago Bulls already had a players only meeting after one game. Yes, they got destroyed in their first game of the season. But players only meeting based after one game? That seems like a little drastic, don't you think? I mean, players meeting is more common than you think, but I never read or heard anything about players having a players only meeting after one game in any sport. First game of the season. I never heard of that. It's like they're already concerned. They're already concerned about the season beyond the line. Based after that, maybe whatever. Okay, it's strange. Okay, it's really strange. And already, man, here to Golden State. Oh, Golden State's not gonna be as good. Well, I don't know. It might be a lower tier seed. Might not make the playoffs. With the addition of Chris Paul, might actually make them worse. And Okay, it's really, really strange as hell. Okay, I'll tell you that. I know, and the thing with these sports shows, they always talk about the same topic over and over again, right? They always have to talk about the shows over and over again, these segments, these topics over and over again. They'll talk about LeBron James 2 or 4 times a show in a 2-hour show. And they'll talk about, not just the Lakers, but Golden State. They'll talk about Milwaukee, Philly, Boston. They barely talk about Denver. They talked about the Lakers losing to Denver more than Denver beating the Lakers. And Denver was the freaking champions. Yeah, because Denver is not LA, right? And LA is not, and Denver is not synonymous with Showtime basketball. Understand me. And LA is a different animal, obviously. But these are the defending champions. And I know Davis did not show up, but still, these are defending champions. Give them some freaking respect. Okay? And they don't really talk about Milwaukee. They talk about Milwaukee being one of the best teams, but they really don't go into detail about Milwaukee. But Milwaukee is not a sexy city, and there's really no. I mean, there's history, a little bit of history of Milwaukee. They have some great players over the years. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, obviously Lucille Cinder, Ray Allen, Giannis. But it's not exactly LA or Boston or Philadelphia or Golden State. How they talked about San Antonio with Remby, right? Next generation of talent. They talk about him. Next generation of talent after based on one game. And San Antonio's going to suck this year. They're going to talk about him. They're going to talk about him in San Antonio specifically a lot this season. And San Antonio's probably not going to make the playoffs. Okay? And even when San Antonio was at the top of the league for almost 2 decades, they really got talked about as much as the other cities I mentioned. That's because San Antonio has been known to be kind of a boring team. San Antonio is not exactly Dallas or Houston or whatever. San Antonio's the most famous thing in San Antonio is the Alamo and the Spurs. What else is there doing in San Antonio? Nothing. Now, but the stuff about going after basing how your predictions or whatever, how you're going to view the season for specific teams based after one game is ridiculous as hell. It's really, really ridiculous, man. You can't decide the fate of. You can't talk about the fate of a team based after one game. Yes, there's one game. Yes, there's always going to be teams in any sport that are not meant to be good. Washington are not meant to be good, right? Teams like in the NBA, Washington, Charlotte, Portland's not going to be good, right? Obviously, but teams they expect to be championship teams or at least contend, especially in the crowded West, a lot of parity, a lot of battling in the West. Like Lakers are one of them. Denver is not no guarantee to repeat. That's a tough conference. I don't think Denver is a favorite here. Well, I know. I'm not an expert. I'm just a fan. I like to talk about sports. And what else? Well, you got Stephen A. Smith. Specifically Stephen A. Smith. I like Stephen A. Smith.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
It's like they have an agenda. I know Stephen A. Smith loves the Lakers. He loves LA, loves Miami, he loves New York. He loves the Lakers. He's a bandwagoner. Stephen A. Smith is a bandwagoner. Okay? Yes, this team that he really, really likes. Then he bandwagons. There's only certain teams he wants to win championships: LA, Miami, and New York. That's it. And New York, I understand. He's from New York. Makes perfect sense. He's raised to be a New York fan. It makes sense. But he's a bandwagoner. I'm just saying, like, sports media has become such a joke as of late over the years. It's more about debating, arguing, and creating topics that don't need creating topics that need to be talked about. Don't need to be talked about, if you ask me, until specifically specifically on this kind of stuff, based after one game. You could talk about this. You could talk about a team, whatever teams like this, if they're not doing well in the season after, I don't know, 5-10 games maybe, but not based after one game. It's really ridiculous. I know you got to create. My problem with ESPN and JSI Sports, my problem is they talk about football so much. And football's a weekly sport. They talk about football so much. And they're talking about basketball again because basketball is bad. They're not talking any other sport. They hardly talk about baseball. The only time we talk about baseball is when there's a really important subject to talk about, like Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge's 660 home run pace. The playoffs. That's it. Okay? That's the only time. And the thing is, and you notice on these shows, First Take, Undisputed, or whatever you want to call them, you notice they always go to the same topic two to three times a show because they don't talk about anything other else. Okay. And I know Stephen A. Smith, specifically on First Take, has some influence on what to talk about on the show as an executive producer. He's the one who calls the shots on who he wants on this show for that day to talk on certain subjects. He may be the one, like, if you're gonna talk football and basketball, you want guys like Dan Orlovsky on today, or Marcus Spears on today. And for basketball, you want guys like Bob Myers or Brian Windhorst. But they got the baseball guy and Chris Russo. They don't get any other baseball guys on. Chris Russo. And when Chris Russo's on, they really don't talk much about baseball. They talk more about other sports. I mean, right? Chris Russo knows all the other sports, but they really don't talk about baseball. Chris Russo during the baseball season. Okay? Hockey they don't talk about because Stephen A. Smith, I guess hockey makes sense because Stephen Smith knows nothing about hockey. He's not even willing to learn. He's willing to have PK Subban on and talk about the beginning of the season and the playoffs. That's it. But nothing in between. Nothing in between during the hockey season. It makes sense. Stephen Smith knows nothing about hockey. Okay? I appreciate Pat McAfee though. What I like about Pat McAfee, he's a lot more open to other things besides football. Okay? He's trying to get into hockey. All right? He's a lot more open to hockey. He likes hockey. He's trying to learn about hockey. He's trying to get into it, and the hockey world appreciates it. They appreciate Pat McAfee showcasing hockey on his show. Whether it's Colin Bedard or the other day, Austin Matthews. He appreciates hockey. He appreciates the sport of hockey, the toughness of hockey, the athleticism of hockey, and how he knows there's an audience for it. Yes, Pat McAfee's expertise is football. He was an ex-punter, and his base is mostly American into football. But at least he tries to get open, right? He tries to be open, right? He's someone in the game that doesn't panic after one game. I appreciate that about Pat McAfee. He's been in the game before. Is that these sports entertainers, I call them now, they have to create drama, right? They have to create drama, right? They have to for their show for ratings. And basketball and football are two sports to go after because it's an American show. And look, I see in Canada with hockey, people don't panic after one. It's the hockey guys in Canada. We mostly talk about hockey. They don't panic after one game or two games. But after 3 games, they don't panic after 3 games. They'll just say, yeah, they're not off to a good start, 3 games, or right, they're not off to a good start. After five, they're not. If they're 0-5, yeah, they're not off to a good start. It's too early to panic. Too early to stuff like that. Then when it gets more worrisome, they'll say, yeah, it's time to panic. There's a belief in hockey. There's a belief in hockey. If you have a really bad start, you won't recover. You may not recover. But we don't. But they don't do it based after 3 or 4 games. They do after sometimes 10 to 15 games. But it's okay. It's okay. Oh, excuse me. I do like. I mean, I do like the shows. I agree. I do like them, but like, it's not a turn off. It just rolled my eyes. I'm like, I was rolling my eyes yesterday about them talking about the Lakers loss. I love Chris Wilson. It's one game. It's one game. And Mr.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
Sorry, I posted a Stephen A. Smith picture. Now video. But yeah, I don't know what else to say, guys. I was hoping something would come on. This is just a stream just because I was bored. But look out, guys. I mean, it's gonna continue to happen. It's not gonna stop. They need the attention. They need the drama. They need the ratings. And people are tuned into this kind of stuff. I am. But it's really something out of nothing right now. Eventually, as the season goes along, there'll be stuff. There'll be more serious stuff to talk about if teams that are expected to contend or any sport that are struggling. But it's really stuff out of nothing right now. It's not even. This is the third official NBA day. Okay, in the schedule, in NBA schedule. Okay, in the calendar. Okay. Okay, George, but come on for like 5. Come on for a few minutes because I'm gonna end it anyway soon. I'm not gonna. I was not planning to go long, so I was probably gonna go like 10 more minutes, 5 to 10 more minutes, and that's it. But on conclusion is like, really, my final say is, we gotta relax. We gotta relax because I know, because fans look at this and be like, yeah, come on, relax. It's only one game. Especially for the Lakers. Okay. Now, if you want to do the Philadelphia side of things, right? They start their season tonight against Milwaukee. And obviously, James Harden's not going to be there. Now, if they lose the first game of the season without James Harden, there's going to be the story, oh, they didn't have James Harden there. And people are going to be like, but they played Milwaukee, man, with Damian Lillard. Oh, okay. Damian Lillard and Giannis, right? Oh, that's why they lost. Here's the thing. Philadelphia plays my Raptors on Sunday, and James Harden doesn't play and they lose to the Raptors, you know on Monday, ESPN, Fox, whoever does sports, you're going to come to the narrative that if they had James Harden, they probably would have beat the Raptors, right? Right? If the Raptors have played a good game against them and deserved that win, but they're going to go with the story, oh, they didn't have James Harden, and I'll be like, so what? It's only the second and third game for them in the season, okay? Now, that if they don't have James Harden for some time and Philadelphia does struggle, as the season goes on, does struggle, they're going to go to the same story. They're going to go to the same story. Oh, they didn't have James Harden. That's why they have not been playing good. That's the story they're going to go with, the narrative. Okay, so just listen. Okay? And right? There's always going to be some. If the Lakers struggle again like last year at the beginning of the season, they're going to go with the narrative, oh, LeBron showed up, but Anthony Davis hasn't showed up. And you'll be like, it's basically the same team as last year, but they added some decent players like Gabe Vincent and such. Based after one game, come on, guys, let's relax. Let's hit the brakes. When I get concerned in the NBA season, when I talk about trends in the NBA season with teams with the win-loss record, when I really get serious about that, it's when teams are expected to at least compete for a playoffs or championship. I'll talk about that. I'm not talking about the teams that are clearly tanking and rebuilding. Get them out of the way. But teams are specifically gunning for a playoffs or championship. If they struggle for their 10 to 20 games, then they can talk about this. This narrative, not this collapse, but I wouldn't say a failure, but like more like expectations kind of thing. You could talk about how they haven't lived up to them yet. Maybe after 10 to 20 games. Yeah, you could do that, but not after base one game. You can't do it after 5 games. And there's been Lakers proved it last year, man. 2-10, 2-9 at the beginning of the season. They end up making the Western Conference. You can't base it off. You can't create this panic for fans based after one game. Okay. And don't forget, they played Denver too. Denver's the defending champions. Give some due credit to them. Okay? And I know it was in Denver also. I don't care. I don't care if it was Denver or not. The Lakers have a chance tonight to go 1-1, and they have the advantage. They have the advantage, okay? Tonight they play Phoenix. Phoenix is gonna be out Beal and maybe Booker. Lakers are at home and they have the advantage tonight. Yes, Durant's on Phoenix, but if you look at really Phoenix's rosters behind Durant, Beal, and Booker, they don't have that much depth. It's really, really thin. So the Lakers, the advantage the Lakers have over Phoenix is depth. So the Lakers need this win. Lakers, yes, I know it's only the second game of the season, but as you know, if the Lakers do lose this game to Phoenix, you can come with a story tomorrow. Oh, the Lakers can't beat an injured, riddle, star-pleated Phoenix team. And they're going to say, oh, they're going to need more from this guy and this guy. Maybe it'll take more than just Anthony Davis to step up. Maybe Austin Reeves will step up. Maybe Gabe Vincent. Maybe D'Angelo Russell. You got to remember, D'Angelo Russell is also a high teen score, right? In the teens, like 15 to 19 points, maybe in the low 20s. He has to step up too, right? The guy can score. What happens if LeBron and Davis do play a good game, but they still lose? Who do you blame there? Who do you blame? Do you blame the bench, the depth? Yeah, you would, right? You would. I'm not defending the Lakers, guys. This is not me defending the Lakers. This is just me defending this early narrative that the sports media likes to create early on in any sports. Happens in football all the time. Okay. All the time it happens in football. All the time. Remember, in football, they call it overreaction Monday after week 1. Remember that. After 1 week in football, the Monday after the first week is called overreaction Monday, right? Okay. And look. I mean, look. There's a couple games on the NBA schedule. I think there's 2 games tonight. I know I think Phoenix, LA tonight. But you got Philadelphia and Milwaukee, right? Yeah. Oh, I think Milwaukee would be Philadelphia with I think Milwaukee still would have beaten Philadelphia even if Philadelphia had Harden in the lineup. I still think they would have beaten them. Okay, because Philadelphia, talented as they are, there's a lot of drama with that team. A lot of drama. But I'm gonna go now. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. I'll do more of these stuff. Take care, guys.